You know how some phrases are just everywhere? They're so famous, they kind of become background noise. We all know them, but do we really know what they mean? Let's take a look at one of the most famous lines in all of literature.
Oh, yeah, you know this one. It's the go-to line for anyone who's just not feeling the holiday spirit. It's the ultimate grumpy catchphrase.
But honestly, if you had to analyze this quote, what would you say? Scrooge is miserable? Sure, but is that it? This is the real challenge, right? Going from just recognizing something to truly, deeply understanding it. Just knowing a famous line is only scratching the surface. It's like seeing just the tiny tip of an iceberg. All the really interesting stuff, what the author was trying to say, the deep psychology of the character, the story's big themes, it's all waiting for us just beneath the water. So, how do we get down there? Well, today, we're going to give you a tool for exactly that, a powerful new framework called PEEZLE. Think of it like your personal submarine for diving below the surface and unlocking all those hidden depths in pretty much any text. PEEZLE might sound a little funny, but it's an acronym that gives you 6 clear steps to follow. You make a point, find some evidence, explain it, then you zoom in on the details, link it to the big picture, and think about the effect on the reader. Every step just naturally builds on the one before it, creating a totally solid analysis. Okay, so that's the theory. But let's actually see how this thing works in the real world. We're going to take our brand new PEEZLE framework and aim it right back at that quote we started with. Let's see what we can find. All right, first up, P for point. This is where you make a clear, confident statement. It's basically your main argument, the big idea you're setting out to prove. So, here's our point. We're not just saying Scrooge is grumpy. We're going deeper. We're saying Dickens is showing us a man who is totally cut off from human emotion, a man who is literally joyless. Now that's an argument we can prove. Okay, next up, the first E, evidence. A great point is nothing without some proof to back it up, right? So now we hunt for that perfect little piece of text that supports our argument. And here it is, of course. This short, sharp little outburst is the perfect piece of evidence to show that Scrooge isn't just in a bad mood. He's fundamentally detached from joy. And now for the second E, explanation. This part is so important. You can't just drop a quote and expect it to do all the work. You've got to unpack it. What's it really showing us? How does it connect back to that main point we made? So our explanation connects the dots. This phrase isn't just some random sound he makes. It's a choice. He is actively rejecting everything Christmas represents: happiness, community, warmth. You can really see his cynical worldview here. Okay, now we get to my favorite part. Z is for zoom. This is where the real magic happens, because we're going to put a single word or phrase under a microscope to see what's really going on inside. And this is just so cool. That isn't just a sound. It's an actual expression of contempt, of dismissal. And humbug? That literally means a fraud, a lie, something totally fake. So Scrooge isn't just saying, I don't like Christmas. He's shouting that it's a lie and that happiness itself is a sham. Wow. All right, on to the L for link. We've zoomed way in on the tiny details, so now it's time to zoom back out. How does our analysis of this one little quote connect to the bigger picture? We're talking themes, the author's overall message, maybe even the historical context. And suddenly, bah humbug isn't just about one grumpy old man. It's Dickens making a huge point about the coldness he saw all around him in Victorian society. This phrase perfectly shows us where Scrooge starts, and it sets the stage for the incredible journey he's about to take. And that brings us to our final step, the last E, effect. So, why does all this matter? How is this supposed to make us, the readers, feel or think? Every great author is trying to create an emotional reaction, and this is where we figure out what that is. Let's be honest, Dickens wants us to be a little disturbed by Scrooge here. He's making him so cold, so cynical right at the start for a reason. He wants us to actively root for him to change. We get invested in his transformation because his starting point is just so miserable. So there you have it. We took 2 simple words, bah humbug, and using the PEEZLE method, we built this incredibly rich, multi-layered argument. Let's just step back for a second and look at what makes this whole framework so powerful. PEEZLE just works. It forces you to be precise with that zoom step. It makes you aware of the bigger context with the link step, and it gets you to think with emotional intelligence when you consider the effect on the reader. It's really the whole package for a killer analysis. And what's really great is how versatile it is. You can use this exact same structure to break down Scrooge's loneliness when he's called solitary as an oyster, and then use it again to analyze the total opposite, the warm, loving connection of the Cratchit family. The tool works on everything. And this isn't just for a couple of quotes here and there. I mean, think about any of the huge themes in this book: redemption, poverty, greed, you name it. PEEZLE gives you a reliable roadmap to explore any of them with real depth and confidence.
So you see, PEEZLE is so much more than just a formula for writing an essay. It's a whole new way of thinking. It teaches you to be an active, curious reader who's always looking past the surface to find the amazing, complex stuff hiding underneath. It's basically your own analytical superpower.
We just use this tool to break open one of the most classic books ever written, but its potential is so much bigger than that. Imagine using this on your favorite movie, a song you can't stop listening to, or even a powerful speech. So the real question is, what world is this tool going to unlock for you?